Okay, we are live.
Hello.
We got a couple of guests today joining us. We got Bing from a couple of our past ones, and then we actually have a new guest called Dr. Troglodyte in here today. And he's gonna be helping us out with some
The
of our fact
doctor
checking.
is here.
The doctor is
He's going to
in.
keep us straight.
Just
I
a
guess.
wiggly kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
So,
first thing I want to bring up is some incorrect stuff that I was talking about with the bricks and minifigs stuff last week. Um,
what'd you do?
well, his motivations apparently.
Mm,
I had stated that he was doing it for clout, just kind of like found the story and
yeah.
realized it was something big, which is definitely not correct. It's definitely an interesting story, but he's actually very invested besides just the fucking chasing the clout.
He wasn't being disingenuous.
No, it's pretty crazy. I think what makes the story so interesting is just like the actions of the bricks and minifigs owner more than anything, and like the lengths that they're going to try to get away with this interesting situation,
It is a fascinating story. Think I've I don't think I've run into one like that where I don't know, repossessing Legos was something that you could do. I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of other stories that are like similar to this because it does remind me of like other events I've seen. It usually pertains to stuff like Pokemon cards or you
Mm.
know kind of collectible things in general. Stuff that ends up amassing a lot of value over time. And
Yeah.
then legal ways to kind of like get it from their owner and
So what was what set this guy on fire that decided to take this on as his mission, to save the store owner from the corporation.
um I think he found it. He found this guy that was just like I don't know if the owner was asking for help or not, you know?
Where's our
So
fact checker
the
here?
Yeah.
so the it was the store people are the bad guys, and so
The store,
this
hang on, the store, like the store owner.
the yeah the well, because the bricks and minifigs are ran through franchises, and so it's more so like the CEO guy of the company. Because at one point he was trying to blame the previous franchisee owners on it. So this guy was trying to sell his dad's Lego collection to the bricks and minifigs people, and they said that they would put it on consignment. So like they would sell it, and then they would like put a cut off to the side that was like 60% or whatever the heck it was, like
For the
to the
store
guy
owner.
that was trying to the guy that was trying to sell the Legos for his
Mm,
dad.
okay.
Okay, I see. So
And
this
the
guy.
YouTuber guy is just a guy that like picked up the story because the guy's son hadn't told his dad that the company had like basically stolen the Legos, and so he was just kind of like, I don't know what to do.
Uh,
And the YouTuber guy was like, oh, well, I'm gonna pick up because he's like a little journalist guy, and
Mhm.
he's done stories on like all sorts of different stuff, and so he picked this one up, and he just ended up getting super involved because the CEO people were trying to be like, well, this YouTuber guy is just trying, because they were saying that the YouTuber guy was trying to just do it for like clout and followers and stuff on the internet, but it was like this dude's Lego Star Wars collection or whatever was like, at first they were trying to value it at like $250,000 or something, but it was
Yeesh.
like quote unquote only like 100 to like $120,000, which is still a ridiculous
I
amount
was
of money
gonna,
for a bunch of
yeah, I'm
Lego.
only.
Yeah.
Well,
And so they like um the company and like the CEO guy, and the CEO guy has like a comically evil little twisty mustache.
Really?
oh, nice.
They were trying to like they basically just stole this dude's Lego collection, and they were like, well, we don't know where it is. The previous franchise owners must have taken it. And so they were trying to like they're literally trying to blame like all these people. And then the YouTuber guy was trying to go to like serve them some court papers because he got himself very involved. and the
Yes.
CEO people were like, "This guy's stalking me, and they're threatening to kill people, and blah blah blah." And so the like local
Jesus.
police department is like completely on the company's side, and they're like trying to weasel their way into like arresting like as many people as possible. And so they arrested the dude for trying to serve court papers because he was quote unquote stalking.
And that's the YouTuber dude he's
Mm.
talking about
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah.
and
Reckless
they just
Ben.
recently, yes, that's the dude's name. And they just recently let him
Shoe
out of
fits.
jail, and the like CEO guys sitting around calling the cops and making statements and stuff, basically being like, "Why did you guys let him out of jail?" And now he's trying to get the police department. And the police department in the one body cam footage I was just watching just a minute ago, like the cop
Hmm.
himself is basically being like, "So we need to arrest everybody involved, correct?"
So, what the fuck? So the guy caught in the middle. It sounds like the old dude that basically he just wanted to like, you know, sell his Legos. Was via I don't know some type of handshake deal, hoping to get his cut from the consignment, and the corporation, the evil corporation, was saying, "We don't know what you're talking about. We don't have your Legos."
Yeah,
And
yeah, they were trying to say that they didn't have their Legos and that well, we don't even do consignments and stuff. And like
Oh,
pretty
what?
much like most stuff is like on video and like
you must have talked
they
to
have
Betty
like
in
scanned
shipping.
documents.
She plays these jokes all the time. Yeah. Wow. I mean, talk about literally a molehill turning into a mountain.
Mm.
Oh, for sure.
Jesus. So is there anything happening that you like that either of
I
you know
think
of
it's
that's
turning
where it's
into a federal case.
It has been like you could just see the momentum on this case as an onlooker. You can just see that it is like kind of only been getting bigger and bigger, like just all the charges that are being thrown around and how involved Reckless Ben is
mm,
now with this corporation and like the whole situation. And they're trying to
because
like
Reckless
he said
Ben is like
earlier.
it's not about the Legos, it's about the principle.
Yeah, I guess pretty much. I mean, like he said, he's a journalist, so I mean, you know how journalists are. They like to expose,
Yeah.
and be
Oh
like,
yeah.
hey, look at this, look at what they're doing. Kind of like that channel I was talking about last week, Boy Boy,
Mm,
and how he focused the Australian that just focuses
yeah.
on like the American stuff.
Yeah.
I would say he's a journalist, just the same as like this guy Reckless Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just become so much bigger than you would really think it would be.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it's kind of horrific for the people that don't have the leverage. Like
Mm-hmm.
they are literally. I mean, at some point, I would say, unless he's got like a lot of money invested in these Legos himself, that he really needs to get back. At some point, I feel like it would be like, man, I'm just gonna call it a fucking day and be like, you guys
That's what
win.
they
You're not gonna
want.
like keep, threatening me with being arrested over this silly shit.
Well, that just happened to a friend of mine. After we did our job, and the
Yeah,
big bad corporation just got to be like, "Well, take us to court."
yeah.
By the time you actually get your money back, you have basically spent what you got back just throughout the fight,
It's
right?
not even
Just
worth the
because.
battle. Yeah.
And it's kind of like what? It makes me think of like whales in poker. People with all the money just being able to throw their weight around and force people out,
Mm-hmm.
through big, scary investments and bids and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it's crazy. It's just crazy seeing it so broad in daylight and how much coverage of this specific case. Just like Reckless Ben has done a good job of like documenting
At
every
least bringing
time
it to
he
light.
has been out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just wanted to definitely retouch on that topic and kind of get a lot more of the facts straight and feel more a little uh
Fair enough.
just good about talking about it because afterwards I was like, I think I
Like,
could have done that
that
better.
wasn't right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot with that episode where I went back and was like, wow, buddy.
It was kind of a mess, but it was still a good
That's all
episode.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything new in the UAP world at all that's like
I mean,
making
there
waves.
is, but it's I look. I mean, it would. It's if I start talking about it, you know me. I'm just gonna like sit here and like talk forever because there is a lot happening. But and we can come back to it. But
Okay,
if you've got anything else that can kind of segue off of this,
we could talk
it
about
seems like
PlayStation
a great
while we're talking
kicking off
about
point.
greed. We could definitely bring up
Yeah.
PlayStation and a lot of their new.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, they I don't think PlayStation really has much of a foot to shoot anymore. They have shot themselves in the foot so many times recently. So I think I told you about the announcement they made where they were like, by 2028, we are no longer doing physical copies at all anymore. It will be a digital
So
market.
dumb, I think.
Yeah. Um, because I don't know, especially with the console world, buying a physical copy of the game and kind of like owning that as a part of your property has
Hmm.
been a part of the experience since like day one of like
Is there
consumer
many
gaming.
people that are kind of protesting that whole move,
Moving to
Oh,
digital? Hell yeah.
like not selling any hard copy at all?
Yeah, there's tons of people. I mean, especially the consumers, I would say, are way more interested in actually being able to buy a physical copy of the game that you
Hmm.
can, control and put in. And the nature of gaming has been moving towards the digital market for a long time. PC gaming has kind of invented the digital market itself, and how it
Hmm.
works with games. Um, but they are just a lot more consumer friendly and like
Well, I,
amenable to
I
you actually
wonder
owning what you buy.
if um who knows, because I'm not obviously I am not schooled in this, but I can see maybe some far-sighted people in that that company realizing that there are, uh, Gen Xers and millennials and even some Gen Zs that are really attached to the physical copies of things, but
Yeah.
there's quickly um, coming online a generation who, has no, they just aren't invested in that at all because they have no experience with the hard copy. They've only experienced the digital version of everything, and
Hmm.
that is, they're like, who cares? I mean, it's a piece of plastic, and it's just another thing to, find a place for.
Yeah.
Whereas it's there, there's like a like a, I don't I, what seems to me like a reverence in the older school gaming community that likes the feeling of having it in your hand, like just
Hmm.
putting it in the console, of being having at least having the option to do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been stockpiling PlayStation games for the last 20 years. We've been a pretty diehard PlayStation family for a long time, and one of the best parts about it was getting to hook up your old PlayStation, whether it be the 2, 3, 1, whatever, and then you grab that and you just throw it in and get to play it like the day it came out, you know? Like
Right.
the novelty of physical copies are uh it's very nostalgic, I'd say, more than anything, and it's also a line that is being crossed to a degree. And it's like it's natural. I feel like digital markets and having a library is kind of the future of media, like owning, but I think
Right.
owning a physical copy of something should still be an option. You know, like what makes vinyls cool is the fact that they still exist, right? Like I like that you can still buy a vinyl and like go out of your way to get a turntable and stuff like that and like use those types of
It is
devices.
counterintuitive for any company whose um, main focus is on their bottom line
Mhm.
to not see an opportunity to eliminate a an avenue where they have to spend money when it's in direct conflict with the idea of something where they provide a digital copy that costs them almost nothing compared to having to produce, a physical copy of something and put it out there in the market,
Mhm.
and they still charge the same price for that product.
Yes, not only that, the where it gets really muddy and murky is like what PlayStation has been trying to enforce now is a lot of you have to be connected to the online service like every 30 days, otherwise your games can be taken from you now. Games that you spend your money on, they won't even give you a refund. If you buy a game on PlayStation and you don't like it, if you have opened the game even once, you cannot get a refund for it.
That is horseshit.
Yeah, and like I brought up a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, that they got rid of 500 movies off of their service. People bought those movies and like were able to watch them anytime they wanted,
Yeah.
but then they just took out 500 movies from their library. No like
We
compensation, no
no
nothing.
longer provide these,
Pretty much,
whether
yeah.
you
Their contracts
supposedly
ended.
own it or not.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part about these
How is there
digital
no
libraries.
legal recourse for
Well,
people that have literally paid for ownership?
I guess it kind of brings up the stop killing games movement then, because there's a lot of exploitation in the games industry when it comes to AAA game companies, and like it was the gambling situation of like the 2010s,
Yeah.
where there was a bunch of gambling mechanics just in a bunch of games, a lot of slot machines and pay to win stuff, and a lot of things that the whole argument was just that these are conditioning kids to be gamblers and spend money,
Mhm.
in these little bits and whatnot. Um, and I don't know. I guess Fortnite kind of changed the whole mechanic of it with how they built their game and stuff, and they saw huge success from their systems, which was their battle pass type of format, and we've seen that done thousands of times now
Mhm.
by this point in time in the gaming world. Um, but yeah, it's just these digital collections of items, right? That can be taken from you.
Yeah, they don't, they're not safe.
Yeah, well,
It
Steam
doesn't
and Xbox, you can buy something, not log into Steam or Xbox for years. Years. But if
Mhm.
I do log in, that stuff is all there. They like respect what you own. They do kind of have like the same power as PlayStation to just like take it from you, but it's literally PlayStation is like scamming people. It's like why even buy anything on their service
So how do
anymore
I mean, like,
if they can
how do
just
you,
take it from you?
and I know there's the whole movement and all that, but like, how do you realistically fight this whole um digital monopoly where
Well,
it's you're not.
they're working on laws. They really are starting to go like federal with it, I guess, to like the highest point that they can, where they are trying to have companies be enforced to like adhere to certain rules. Like there's one rule that I believe they're trying to get enforced where games cannot be made with an online state only.
They
Like
have to have a physical copy that you can buy if you want to. I
not
think.
always. They don't
Well,
always
what I'm
have to.
saying is like, well, I'll ask. I mean, do you think that's a fair?
I think to a
Um,
degree, if you're going AAA, selling to like consoles and stuff like that, I think putting out physical copies is a good idea. You're kind of like letting go of money at that point,
and shouldn't they provide
I think digital
be
versions of the
required to
game
provide the option
should
to
be
get a?
cheaper. Sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like, do you think that they should be required if there's uh any type of legal actions taken to where they are in, like, something is enforced upon these conglomerates because they have so much power and leverage, they should be required on their end to at least provide the option of a physical
Yeah.
copy of what they sell, so that people have the option to do that. If people don't care about it, fine. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
some people want that, and that might last for a really long time.
Yeah, well, I think it is a good way to keep selling games, I think it's enticing, it's fun to go to the store and like browse. I miss going to GameStop and like not knowing anything about games. You would
And,
just walk through and you'd see something awesome.
and maybe it's in their long term, you know, playbook to do something like that, but they're maybe creating an artificial scarcity
Mm,
to, kind of pump up
change
the
prices
value
again and
of
stuff.
a physical copy,
Yeah.
so that
That's
once
what
it's
Nintendo
like
does, kind
brought
of.
back into the market, yeah,
Yeah, Nintendo's kind of been ahead of this curve, if we're really being
Because they
honest.
don't have the same like monopoly protection laws that we and like other countries around the world have, and so
Hmm.
that's why like even when you go to like even the level 7 down the fucking yonders,
Yes.
there's like even it's like freaking Mario Kart. I bought Mario Kart for my Nintendo Switch, and that game when that came out, it was
80?
gosh, it was the Mario Kart 8. Um,
Is that the newest one? Which Mario Kart are we on?
there's a new one after that one, but this one came out in 2017, and I
Okay,
bought
so this
my
is probably
Switch.
$60.
Yeah, and so it was still $60 when I
Yeah.
went to get Mario Kart for my Switch because I bought my Switch just to play the new Metroid remastered thing.
Yeah.
And when you go to games like all of the games for Switch, even being sold by secondhand people in aftermarket places, like they're still
60.
basically full
Yeah.
priced because they have like if you want to be able to sell Nintendo Switch games in your store, you have to adhere to our rules, I think is how it's working.
Hmm.
And so like I'm pretty sure you can buy them on like eBay and stuff, but I don't usually mess with Nintendo stuff like that because I don't want them
Hmm.
to send their freaking the Nintendo ninjas to my house because I play an emulator on my computer.
Yeah.
I don't know what is that?
So Nintendo is notorious for suing people and like shutting anything down that is like related to their IPs of any kind. Like anything that even like slightly resembles Pokemon is always within the danger zone because
Really?
Nintendo,
Yeah,
yeah, they have like strong, crazy laws where they are like, well, if you have anything that pertains to like a monster going into a ball or a
yeah.
collection of things, we own that. We own that
You
idea. You cannot do it. So imagine if the guys who made a first person shooter were like,
Yeah,
you cannot make a game like this. We made this. This
that
is
was
our idea. Or like somebody
yeah,
made a song and was like, you cannot make anything that's like this genre. We made this genre, you know?
they
yeah.
try.
They
The
really
music
try.
industry does try.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! They would send
It's
the
just
Yakuza
they
or
get
what is it? The fucking
the Nintendo Ninjas.
I don't know.
Since I used to
Fucking
have a emulator on my computer that let me play GameCube games, and I had a little
Mhm.
thingy that I could plug into my computer, and I could plug a GameCube controller into my computer. And then like all of those websites started getting like cease and desist and getting shut down and stuff. And so I was like, man, am I even allowed to have freaking Finding Nemo on the GameCube or
what
Yeah.
the
Hit and Run on my computer
fuck?
anymore?
The Cars GameCube game. Am I not allowed to like play that anymore?
This is really enlightening me.
Yeah,
The
it's
fucking politics of fucking
gaming.
gaming.
Yeah. It's deep and it's greedy. It's one of the greediest fucking whatchamacallit, like what's the right word? Just medium out there, I'd say. Like they get away with a lot. They
This needs a
scam
good
people all the
documentary.
time.
This needs a really good documentary.
Hey, maybe we'll do it first.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe Mr. Reckless or whatever his name is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to it. There's a lot of history of lore, and it's interesting watching different companies change and shape. You know, there are some companies like Ubisoft that like started to go downhill like
Yeah.
10 years ago, and it just you could see where they were going, and they are like at that point now. They are dead in the water pretty much. You know, they got bought out by Tencent. So they're not like a French family-owned company anymore. And that was the interesting thing about Ubisoft specifically is they were like five brothers that were these French independent people that made a company that was able to like stand up against a lot of other major like AAA developers as
Uh-huh.
well. But their ego and like their pride kind of sold them down a bad river, you know, and they got so greedy with like how much money they could pump out of people. They were doing a lot of these tactics like before specific let's
So
say
give me a like
distributors started doing it.
year time frame that you're thinking that this
2011 to
that far back.
2024. Oh yeah, they started doing some crazy stuff that just was like boosters in single player stuff, like mobile tactics, where it'd be like, if you give us $5, we'll make the game easier. Which is just a super
Why would you want
slimy
that?
thing. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Part of the awesomeness of a video game is seeing that mountain in front of you and wanting to get to the top of it,
It's that
right?
dopamine again.
Yeah,
Like,
but
well, people like,
short.
God damn it, I want to win this fucking game, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of losing. And so a lot of people will reach for the quick fix if it's available.
Yes, GTA is very notorious for that, for being as convoluted and hard to make money legitimately by yourself as possible. And then they put a bunch of toys out that are like, look, a submarine car, look, a flying bike, look, you could have an orbital beacon. It's just gonna cost you like $60 million in game.
So in GTA,
Mhm.
or games like that, so what you maintain like a um monetary account balance
Mhm.
inside the game.
Yeah, digital currencies of many kinds are very what's the right word?
They cross over.
No, 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 they do not. Some of them are more expensive than others too. Like
Oh,
some of them can actually, like, you can trade items in some games, so you could like buy a skin for somebody and like gift it to them, which is very rare. Most gaming developers make their games in ways that they control the market as much as possible, and it's usually just give us real money for this fake
I
currency
was gonna
that you
say,
could spend on
how
things in the game.
comparable are they? Is it to real currency?
It's usually like 100 of their little coins or whatever will be like $1, but it's up to the developers. They can kind of charge whatever the fuck they want,
And
and
what's that
if
100
people
coins or
buy
whatever
it,
worth in a game like, say, GTA?
oh,
Is it
so
penny for penny,
GTA,
or is
nah,
it?
GTA is, they kind of got it figured out, I'd say, because it's much bigger scale. You're trying to make millions of dollars in like that game, and it's
Uh-huh.
like a show of, like, oh, look how rich I am, right?
Yeah.
And you show off your toys and stuff. In other games like Fortnite or like just fighting games and stuff like that, you trade real money for their fake currency for like skins and stuff like that. And usually they're skins you can earn through playing the game, uh, which is a little more enticing, I think, to people that don't want to spend money in the game. But there's a lot of games that don't have that
I
option.
wonder how many people put themselves in the hole trying to like buy the next skin or whatever inside of a game.
Yeah, it definitely, there's levels to it. There's people that manage it just fine, and they're okay with making those purchases.
Hmm.
Especially, I think if you play the game enough, you can totally justify buying cosmetics in a video game, because if
Yeah.
you are putting in the time, you didn't really put in much money into it and stuff like that, I don't see the problem with getting something you want, if you have the time. But if you like play a game for like 10 hours max and you are like, oh, I want this, 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 and this, and you just like threw like $160 just so you could like complete the collection as fast as
But
possible.
they're not putting out like glittery, enticing things that you don't really need for people that um compulsively buy whatever they think is going to give them an edge or something
Well,
like that.
that's not even for an edge. That's literally just for, oh, look how nice that looks. $20 skin. You get
Have
nothing from it.
you
You get
Wow.
no bonuses, no nothing. And people prefer that. Gamers would much rather you just sell cosmetics over anything that gives you a bonus, because skill is the most important thing when it comes to like PvP gaming, or just like gaming with people in general, I would say. Like how
Yeah.
far you can get by yourself is always what people like brag about. You will never see a dude bragging about his cosmetic collection.
No.
Not in the open. Not unless he's like somewhere comfortable where it is like, okay, these people aren't going to judge me for this, you know?
have you Christian, have you heard of um GTA RP servers?
Yes, I'm very familiar.
Because
Well, haven't played them, but I've
there are
watched
some
tons.
people,
Hmm.
there are rappers. Um, what are some of them? There's this guy, Funny Mike, T Grizzly, Big
T
X the
Grizzly,
Plug.
really?
Yeah, they have GTA RP servers,
Hmm.
and it's like there's no way it's not money laundering schemes. Because they have
Really?
like, I'm not even shitting you, they'll have, because they have like loot boxes and gambling in them, and you have to spend real money on the stuff, like on the currency or whatever, to
Yeah.
open up the box, and it's like egregiously priced.
And that's
And
interesting, because that's
That
probably
is.
there's
that's not Rockstar doing that. So
That
that,
means there's
yeah.
somebody doing some shady shit in the background and running it through the game
Hmm.
to get clean money on the other side. That's
It's the
Interesting.
craziest thing I've ever seen. Like they have, you have to pay. I believe some of them you have to pay to even join the server to
Yes.
like to begin with, like right off the rip. Like you
Some of
have
them
to
have
spend
monthly
like
subscriptions.
yeah, like you have to spend like at least $40 or whatever to like even get access to the server through a Discord server. And then once you get into the server, there's like a massive queue to get
Mm-hmm.
like actually load into the server. But luckily, these guys are generous enough that if you spend $200, you can get premium access to the freaking front of the line. You can get the fast pass into
Oh
the server.
my
And then
god,
once you get
bro.
into the server, like you can literally be spit like they have loot boxes that are like $600, $1,000, fucking $2,000, and there are actual ding dongs that are spending this money. Like there are
Mm-hmm.
people that like they're wanting to like live some strange gangster
Yeah,
lifestyle or
gangster
whatever
fantasy.
vicariously through
Mm.
the game. But they're getting like completely extorted by these freaking gamblers because they're like, oh, well, I want to go play on this freaking super famous guy's server. I could like be someone. I could like get myself into a clip because
Mm-hmm.
like they'll live stream themselves playing on their own servers.
Yep.
And there's this guy I put it in the Discord. You should check it out at some point. But there's this guy that like actively he will go into their servers. Like he what a man. He's a knight, a scholar. He murders himself and he will spend the money to get into the servers, and he does duplication exploits. So that he like
Nice.
completely ruins the entire economy of their servers, and like they have to like they up and restart different servers with different names constantly.
Mm.
I
And
wonder how often
they're
those
making
people
like
get direct marketing.
shitloads.
No, but that
I
is
wouldn't be
awesome.
surprised.
It's crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you
They're
like
making
it's like
bajillions
you're
of
living
dollars,
in
man.
there's like escapism, but then you literally escape from the real world just to like get right back into the real world.
Yeah, they're like trying to like they go home and pretend. Like I mean, I suppose everybody plays pretend, but it's like
But then they become like
you know
they
like simulator games, I suppose, where like you go home from your grocery store job, get on your computer, and then you're playing grocery store simulator.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I yeah. I don't want to say anything bad about that because I bet there's a lot of people that do that. But
And
Yours
they're pretty
truly.
fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah,
not
I was
gonna lie.
gonna
They're
say there
pretty
might
good.
be a couple of us in here.
Simulators are
but do you
crazy fun.
work at a grocery store though?
Nah,
No.
and I mean, I don't know. Sometimes work is fun.
Well,
You know,
usually,
a mountain's a mountain, no matter
Let's freaking A. I
the
could
game.
see if there's part guy
True.
simulator.
No, yeah,
usually people
and there's
don't
different
complain
strokes for
about
different
jobs till they
folks.
work.
I actually do like it obviously stimulates something like maybe you feel like you have a modicum of control, well, more control, because you're the god in that game. I'm
Depends on
saying
the
like
game. Yeah.
if you're playing any of those simulations that simulate real life scenarios, to me that sounds boring as fuck. But I get it that it can be addicting because you kind of get to be the boss of what you're doing in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're maybe not a god. I just was using that as a way to describe the feeling of having a lot more power over what you would normally do, but you don't have to subjugate yourself in the way that you would in the real world. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you
Again,
can
I'm
clock
just
off whenever you
out of my
want.
ass.
If you really don't want it, you can just turn the game off or
Yeah.
switch
You can
it
shut
up,
it down
know.
and stomp on it if you want, and then
Yeah.
you're done.
And sometimes those games are they're built more on a satisfying kind of trajectory more than actually like I'd say depth, because they're not like the most realistic game simulators in the world. A lot of the work simulators I end up playing are more just like Power Spray Simulator, maybe Satisfactory or
Oh,
something
my
like that.
wife loves Power Washing Simulator.
Yeah, because it's just satisfying to like clean things sometimes,
Well, that one, what was that game called that you were playing that is like a factory building?
Yeah, Satisfactory.
It's called
It's called
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. At least you know what you're gonna get up front.
Yes.
But
There's a
that
freaking
makes
game where
sense
you
to me.
put books back up on the shelf in a
Yep.
library.
You just organize books on a library. I've low key really wanted to play that game really bad.
Yeah, I kind of want to look at
I
it.
wonder how many accountants have that game.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to read sometimes, and it's fun to like just organize things and do
Yeah.
stuff
Can
like
you
that.
read them?
No, but it's fun to like read the different names. I've seen
Oh,
gameplay where they
true.
got a ton of different names, and you're like sorting them through volumes and stuff like that, trying to find like you're missing like volume 4 of like an 8 volume collection, and there's thousands of books everywhere. So you're like, where the fuck is this one book?
Well, I do know in real life when I find myself doing something like that,
Yeah,
it can become really engrossing. I
yeah.
mean, from the out before you start doing it, you're like, "Oh my god, I don't want to fucking do this.
Hmm.
I've just been dreading this." And then you get into it and you're like, "This is actually kind of fun."
I'm enjoying myself.
Fucking I don't
It's
hate
like when you start
this.
cleaning at like 3 in the morning because you get that itch and you're like, I'm just gonna do it, and then you start doing it and you get carried away.
Yeah. Oops, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish I would have remembered that I worked today.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I mean, this whole thread
mhm.
has kind of got me fascinated with where all this shit's going. Like where it's supposed to, right now it seems like it's such a the waters are so muddied by, all of the people trying to like gain the upper hand in the market and
Mhm.
blah 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 and people that want to keep things the same, people that are happy with things moving forward without um, without the new status quo. I wonder what you guys think about how this ends up within the next 5, 10 years. What are you seeing? Because you're in it a lot. You're in it,
Mhm.
almost every day, and you must have some insight as far as that.
Well, I feel like it's just gonna keep evolving. The things that people try to get away with. It's kind of like what he was just talking about with the RP servers. Like crime itself
Mm-hmm.
is going to try to find ways to succeed in this new medium. Especially one that is so interactive and like you can target an individual, based on like how badly they want to experience something,
Mm-hmm.
or live vicariously through something else.
Well, it's
Um,
like in my one class that I was taking, it was, I think, my human relations and organizations. We were talking about like advertisements, and
mhm.
there's this one documentary. It was a news channel did it. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like these people talking about like they quite literally prey upon your vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Like Nike and them, like they bank on like, well, you want to belong, right?
And they find them
And that was for
fast.
sure like a lot. I don't know about like kids these days, but like for sure, like when we were younger, like oh my
Hmm.
gosh, yeah, the kids that wear Aeropostale, for sure.
That kid's got Jordans on. Yeah.
Like you needed to be hip and in the crowd, and so like they definitely like, and like they will kind of like like your sensibilities, like well you need to do the like it's like weaponized empathy, I want to say, kind of in a sense where like they'll be like,
Okay.
well, you need to get the thing because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like it's just the right thing to do to get this stuff.
Secondary
Some
effects.
people are so numb. I'd say maybe not even just some, but a lot of people, I'd say, are actually just very numb by life, and they're number by number. So when they get to like focus in on their specific dream, what they want, whether it be reaching super fitness goals,
Uh
that
huh.
American standards have put on people, or getting to be a fucking hoodlum, so they go to these GTA RP servers. It's just a lot of it comes from personal desire, what an individual like
It's going
man
to
wants.
accentuate what they already are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is I have always seen the potential for the gaming world to have an influence that can really make people better, and I've seen it
Yeah.
happen. I've seen it happen in obviously my kids, and like I've seen how it can sharpen skills.
Yes.
But the one thing that can kind of eliminate that is if the entire industry becomes too filled with predatorial tendencies, from the people at the top, that are pulling all the levers.
Yeah.
Then from even just today, from what I'm hearing from you guys, is that the reality that is trying to be, stepped out of into a fun game world is starting to bleed into actual reality.
Yeah.
In a way that's not that great. And I don't think that's going to happen just in general. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different. I mean, I don't even know how to, because of the fact that I'm not a gamer. I'm just observing from the sidelines. But what I'm seeing philosophically is a loss of that actual that place to go to escape to, because you're confronted at every turn with the needs of the real world. The real world wants what you have. It wants to control what you're thinking. It wants to manage your expectations. It wants to make you ultimately do what it's planning.
Work towards the machine, in the direction that they want with it, to do your piece at the very littlest, right?
Well, they're getting young men are there's a spike in young men with gambling addictions.
Yeah, I wonder
They've been
why.
doing some studies recently where what is this? It's saying about 10% of young men in the U.S. show signs of gambling problems because they introduce the loot boxes and stuff friggin'
Mm-hmm.
EA Counter Strike and even the season passes and stuff for games since Fortnite and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like these kids grew up on loot boxes and gambling, and then they turn into adults with jobs and money, and then they go, well, I could just download the Sportbook app on my
Mm-hmm.
phone. And so a lot of young men are getting really deep into sports gambling and stuff.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that a lot, especially in the last couple years, where streaming gamblers, where they literally and they're all
Yeah, dude,
young
there's a guy
men.
streaming Plinko.
Yeah, for real. It's just like a dude losing his mind in his room because he just lost $10,000 online at his computer, and now he's begging tons of different people, being like, "Please, just give me more money, just give me more money, please." And then he loses that too, and they win big one time, and then they immediately go back to still just losing, 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 and it's just they can't stop. They physically cannot stop themselves. When you watch the clips of these streamers, it is crazy how deep they are into these
Yeah.
gambling addicts. Yeah.
And
Out
it
of everything on the internet, that is one of the most pathetic things you can watch. I've seen that type of stuff before, and it's just like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. It is an interesting thing for sure.
that's kind of an example of real life problems seeping into people. I mean, the whole gambling, gaming, gambling thing it's been a problem for quite some time.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people talk about their issues with it and the downfalls of it, but we all have a built-in aversion
Mm-hmm.
to gambling. You know what I mean? We have an aversion to it because it's like standing on the edge of a cliff, wondering whether or not you have wings, and just be
Yeah.
like, well, I'm gonna check, and then so it's not natural for us to take those type of risks,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the gaming side of it is normalizing
That failure, or
yeah,
death, in
that
aspect.
making it seem it's not too big a deal.
Yeah.
Because it's in a game format. I don't know. I mean, but
I don't know. That's an
That's
interesting
something that I'm hearing
concept
here.
that I've thought about a lot, like the desensitization to like death as a thing. You know, the more you game, the more you die or end up in horrible
True.
situations in those games. Like sometimes you, it's what made horror games awesome. Was you would like you find yourself in a horrific situation and you're in control of like the dude, you know, instead of sitting there on the couch and being like, "Ah, why'd you do that?" You're like the guy that's panicking and accidentally ran upstairs and cornered yourself, you know?
Same idea, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's taking a lot more to scare people.
Yes.
And so the the less um, the less efficient writers and producers tend to fall back on just um, gross shit. They just fall back on creepy, like shit that is disgusting.
Yeah.
And
Just a
we know that
guttural
we still
reaction.
will have that reaction to at least that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right. That's a good comparison. It's a very similar idea.
Yeah.
Desensitized to the possibility of fucking up detrimentally
hmm
in a way that
Well,
you
I mean,
can't
how
come
many
back from.
motivational speakers preach that idea? The idea that failure is not, the end. Failure is just a step in the way, right?
Right.
So I don't know, because I think it's one of
That's
the things that makes us human
true,
beings is
but that's like lifting weights. Do it in increments,
yeah,
in amounts that you can handle, and then you add another little bit, and then you lift that. And so,
well,
similar idea with failure, I would think.
yeah, well, I know,
Colossally failing is not the way to go. You wouldn't want to
no,
kill
that's not
yourself
the
in the gym.
goal,
You're
but
right.
the goal is to be able to handle the failure and be able to keep
And
moving.
move forward.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's not a bad thing. That's
And there's
not
plenty of
somewhere.
gamblers out there that are very tactful about how they play and are very successful because they are not just addicted to gambling,
They're
but they're actually
disciplined.
very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And the people we're talking about are the people that cannot control themselves. They will be up. They will be up heavy. They have made their money, they have more than doubled it, and they will lose it all on the same night.
Yep.
These are the people that are appearing more and more, just you know, everybody's at different spots in their life, developmentally and everything.
Can we
like
fact
that.
check that troglodyte? The appearing more part. Where can we find some facts about that statement?
That
I'm
was
just
a
kidding.
funny
My
statement.
baby came down.
Just
Okay.
kidding. Why are we calling him
I know that,
troglodyte?
like, they,
That's just his name on.
Oh, okay.
He's Doctor
I got it from
Troglodyte.
Fallout 3.
Oh, okay.
But I know that like they do. I just put a little article into the thingy, but like there are like it's kind of related, I believe. I was kind of distracted. My mom came down with my baby for a second.
I see.
But I know like there are games because I remember seeing there's this one game that I believe like people in Ukraine were using
hmm
to train on operating drones. Like the
I
game
believe that.
is operating drones and it's like damn near 1-to-1. And so like these dudes were using this video game to train on drones. And then I just found this article where it's talking about um like Russia will target younger men in military gaming spaces trying to like, hey, well you want to
You want to do this in
come
real
fly a
life?
jet in real life?
Yeah. Which is some anime type of story feeling stuff when I
So
hear
like
about that.
the veil between like real life and games has gotten very strange. Like
Yeah.
you remember growing up, like just everybody like, oh well, GTA is gonna make your kids crazy, and then like those people looking like insane.
Yeah.
And then like a few years ago when there was the problem with it was either Kias or Hyundais or whatever, where you could like pop the ignition off and there was a flash drive sized hole that you could literally stick a flash drive into and start the car. Like there were
What?
videos of like
I did not hear about that.
12-year-olds like joyriding around in people's cars after stealing them and stuff.
Huh.
And so it's like this is what is going on? I feel like the old Karen back in the day being like GTA is gonna make you a criminal in real life.
Well, I do think it's interesting because I don't think that's 100% true. I just think if you really want to do those things, I don't think video games help
It's not gonna
stop
True.
them.
It's not going
right?
to
It
satiate
doesn't-
that desire.
No, I think it just stokes the fires.
Yeah.
Where they're just kind of like,
Where you're
man, I
gonna-
really want to make this fantasy come true.
You're going to want to
you
go
know?
feel it viscerally in real
Yeah.
life.
Well, you get desensitized to doing those things in games, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, it's just how games are. It's not even just the violence in games. It's why Satisfactory is like a game that I bring up, because when you see all these new shiny animations and the game is beautiful, it hits that same part of your brain where you're like, dopamine, dopamine, dopamine.
Mhm.
But after like 500 hours of playing a game like that, that goes away. You
You're-
lose your
because
feeling.
you're not really getting away with it.
Yeah.
And so if you can go and really, so yeah, that opportunity, I'm sure, presents itself to a lot of people that have nefarious tendencies,
Mhm.
you know, and they will eventually, somebody's gonna, well, eventually, it's already happened. As far back as the 80s, that's why there was like people, you know, bitching about metal and
Yeah.
fucking I don't know,
Horror
even the
movies,
games. I mean,
Dungeons
shit,
and
He-Man,
Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
That it somehow inspired their wrongdoing.
And I think those ones are kind
But
of ridiculous.
I don't think it's wrong. I mean,
Well,
just like you were
movies
saying, like,
Scream
we
and
were talking about
Halloween.
neutral things last episode, and there are things that are neutral that have the ability to become
Carry this
something
energy of
that's
malice
not
or
something that is not good, or something that is good, but by itself is neutral. I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many things that are like that
yeah.
ultimately we are the equation, you know. And if somebody is going to be bad, somebody's going to do something
I think it was
horrific.
already in them.
It was
True.
there. It might
Honestly.
just give them a little more, you know,
Ideas.
a few more ideas
Well,
on how
it's
to do it
just like
creatively.
Scream said, yeah, it doesn't make killers. It just gives killers new ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's actually a really good quote from a horror movie that's being a parody of like
Mhm.
the whole genre. You know, but it's true. In my opinion, it's a very true statement that like you are what you are, you know, to a degree, and you can like shape human beings as they grow, and it's important for them to have their, you know, experiences. But I do think that there are people out there that are born that just will do those things no matter what. I feel like
I-
just the inevitability of like the odds of like how many people are born, there's always going to be somebody that's like, I'm going to steal that truck. I can.
I'm one of those people that thinks there are a lot more good people
Mhm.
and good intentioned people than there are not good intentioned people. People that just live to do something harmful.
Well, we're
Um,
colony animals. So
and this-
if the colony survives, we survive. The better the colony does, the better we do, right?
Right.
So
And
anything, I think it's
we
a
automatically
brain
look
deficiency.
we circle around it and are like bad, destructive. That hurts the whole
Mhm.
group, you know.
Jail 'em.
But there is the thing about it is those people that do have those inclinations are the effects on the entire group are so bad that it can seem like there's a lot more of them. Like
Mhm.
here's a
Yeah,
good
you're right.
anecdote.
I see what you're saying.
Here's a good anecdote. And you know about this, but just in my complex, when I moved in, I loved the place. It's a great place. One of the attractions to the place for me was the fact that it had a 24-hour gym.
Mhm.
I mean, 24-hour gym. Go in I mean, you could have whatever work schedule
Yeah.
and get in there, and that was a big deal to me. Somehow, some way, somebody was stealing weights from the gym. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you
Yeah.
even doing this? I don't know whether to clap or find you and run over you, but they ruined it for
Everyone.
everybody.
Yeah.
They literally made it so the place was only open during business hours. Who the fuck is there during business hours? If you have a job,
Yeah.
you know? And that was like probably one
You know what's
or
funny?
two people that did that.
Yeah.
And so that is also a tendency of ours that I think needs some work as far as our species, that we like punish
Everyone.
massive groups of people for a few people's wrongdoing.
And then it's kind of interesting because if you watch the news, all the bad stuff is always what you see first. You know, you're just flooded and inundated with negative human interactions. You know, whether it
Yeah.
be shootings or
Oh yeah,
corrupt
that's what
politicians,
makes it.
anything like that. You know, and you know, you hear it all the time, especially being in America right now, where people are just like, "Man, there evil is everywhere." You know, it's around every corner, and it's just like it's such a bleak way to exist. You know,
Hmm.
but yeah,
That's there's another side to that, where you have societies like well, I would say North Korea and China right now, where they will show their population all the beautiful shit that is happening in their, and they will not know about all the crazy stuff that's happening around the world.
hmm
They funnel to them only all the positive things that are happening in their countries,
that's true.
and usually because of their venerated leaders. But the point is that even that right there is a kind is in the type of oppression that is easily detected,
hmm
because the people that are being targeted with that, they all know that that's not true, and it makes them even angrier than hearing all of the you know the crazy mudslinging and basically dirty laundry that's aired in the Western world,
hmm
um, while leaving all the the good things that are happening out. So that is the other side of that whole paradigm. Those people, well, shit, we're talking about a critical mass of a multitude of people.
hmm
But from the people that I've listened to that have come out of it, it seems like it's very transparent. Like, yeah, this rosy depiction of life in China or life in North Korea,
hmm
um, we know is bullshit, but we have to go along with it. Otherwise, we stand out like a sore thumb,
Yeah,
and we become a target.
you're right.
And it's kind of, I mean, there's something similar on this side of the spectrum, where if you are a little bit too optimistic about things, um, you tend to like gather your own labels, right?
Yeah,
Um, but I do, yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that the Western world has discovered that we like to see the dirt. We like to see the drama,
yeah,
and that hits a button, that makes our leg kick, like when I scratch Bella's belly. You know what I'm saying? For
yeah.
whatever reason.
Well, I think it's just it feels like transparency at least, right?
Yeah.
And
Is
I,
it?
I guess like I don't know what would feel like more transparency in that because both feel just like manipulation, you know, and that's all really it is at the end of the day. It's just manipulation to an end, you know. But it's just what is the point of like making us so desensitized to bad news, you know?
Well, it depends on the who you're getting it from, but